On this episode of Carnage, we're at Heathcote Park Raceway and we're going to try and go 10s with our V8 Lexcen. You know we have a Lexcen, you know it has a V8, you know it's got 4 litres, a turbo, and it makes over 700 horsepower at the tyres. But it has not run a 10-second time slip as yet. It's run 11.7 on its first outing on drag radials. It's run 11.7 on street tyres at the Optimus Streetcar Challenge. So we're hoping at Heathcote, with its very amazing traction, well, this place is really good for traction, and Lance has invited us up here for a private little test day, and we're going to try and send it. And we're very thankful for this opportunity because we're here by ourselves, no pressure. We're just going to go out there and try and run a 10. So today's mission is split into 3 parts. Drive it to Heathcote, run a 10-second pass and drive it home. First part of that mission, we've already accomplished. We are here, we've driven it here, and it's done all right actually. On E85s, we haven't put the flex fuel in it yet. It's on straight E85, and we've driven it up here and it used 25 litres of fuel. I have to work out what that is in terms of litres per 100, but it's reasonable. It's probably 20 litres per 100 or maybe 18. We'll work it out. But it is reasonably efficient and it drives really well on the road. And I think today, the weather's beautiful. I think there's 10s in the air. So in usual Carnage fashion, the first problem of the day has revealed itself, and we've put it on our drag radials, and now with the car sitting much lower, the rear guards sit on the tyres, which is not fun. I'm going to jack it up and see if we can possibly adjust. So in the rear suspension there's a spring, but there's also an adjustable cup as part of the Shockworks setup. So we'll jack it up and have a look and see A, if there is any room to maneuver there, and B, how hard it is to remove that and adjust it. So anyway, jacking it up. So I've had a bit of a look under there. I can't adjust it in place because, well, it's certainly not with the wheel on, so I whipped the wheel off. I did briefly look at this and whether we could, you know, roll the guard using this, but I think if we stick that in and lower it down, I think we're just going to screw up this rear quarter, and I prefer not to damage the car if I can help it. Yeah, all right, let's whip the wheel off. All right, so we're just looking at this. I did unlock the collar and I've tried to adjust it a bit, but it's barely moving, and the only way to do that, I'm gonna have to drop the shock. But as we've just realized, the shock is currently at full extension, because that's what's holding it all there right now. So if the shock's at full extension, the shock might not have the travel for more spring height. So we may have to go to plan C, which is run on street tyres. That is going to make our job a lot harder. Okay, plan C it is. Okay, so we've got our street tyres on. So our Nankang NS2Rs, they are reasonably soft tyre, but they're not a drag tyre by any stretch of the imagination. What pressure we got in them? Yeah, 32.5. All right, let's drop them down. What did I have them at Optima? I dropped them to 25, I think, and it actually hooked reasonably. Might go down to 22. So here's the state of the nation right now. We've tried to put our drag radials on. The rear guards sat directly on the tyres, so that's a no-go. So we're up to plan C, and we're going to run the street tyres. They've dropped the pressures down to 22 psi. I'm going to make a pass at low boost first to see what happens. We'll try probably 3,800 RPM on the launch and low boost, run it out the back door, see what that gets us, and then we'll step up the boost and see how the traction behaves. But yeah, running on street tyres is certainly making our mission a lot harder. Turn burn off, limiter off. Did not expect that on 16 psi. That hooked and went. The bloody dash, man, I forgot all about it. I couldn't even see the dash for the first shift. I just saw a flash of blue. I think I short shifted the first shift. But wow, man, that felt like an 11 on 16 psi, which if we ran 11 at low boost, I will be super stoked with that. You may have seen me reach over with my finger and hit the anti-lag button, so that helped actually bring it up on boost a little bit quicker. So that's a little trick I'm going to have to try. I can't quite reach. I'm going to have to work out a way of holding the anti-lag and the trans brake together. But yeah, that was a good start. Pretty happy with that. Very surprised if that is not an 11-second pass. That felt pretty solid. No way! Is that real? No way! Low boost, 1068! What the actual fuck? Well, okay, part 2 of our mission accomplished.
I guess we go home now, Scotty.
We go home? No. Let's wind up the boost a little bit and see what it does next. Wow! How's that for traction? This place is amazing. As I said before, Heathcote has amazing traction. The reason we haven't brought the car up before is because we didn't think the car was ready for this track yet. So we tried it at Calder, ran at 11.7. We tried it at Opta, 11.7 on street tyres, so we're getting better, you know, and we've had Zane get in there and put in some launch strategies and stuff like that. And then straight off the rip, 16 PSI boost, 3,800 RPM launch. It hooks on street tyres and goes a PB by a full second. I mean, what else can you say about this place but amazing? All right, burnout limiter on. Launch RPM 3,800, boost level 20 PSI. limiter off, first gear, trans brake. Alright. Like that might be our only run today because something is definitely not happy. It kind of felt like something went a little bit funny in the burnout. Thought it was my imagination, but obviously it's not. Okay, something is not happy. Let's have a check under the bonnet. It's definitely got a split in it. Maybe that's the problem. Something's not happy. So we've had a look under the bonnet and found two things. One of the coils was loose, the rear one on that side. So we've tightened that up and made sure that's properly seated. The other was the boost line going off to the wastegate had a hole in it. Is that the problem? Don't know, but it does feel like it's not making boost at the moment and it's laying over at $4,000, which if it's not making boost, then of course the car is wildly over fueling at $4,000. So anyway, I'm going to drive it up here through the staging lanes, just give it a little stab, see if it makes any boost. If it doesn't, I guess we go home. If it does, then I guess we go for another run. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it on the track, but not a timed run. I'm just going to drive it down the track and test that it gets boost and RPM. I'll have the helmet on for that. But yeah, it's not going to be a timed run. It's just a basically exploratory, see if this is working. If it feels fine, we'll come back and do a pass. If it's not fine, then I guess we head home. But yeah, let's test it. So I've driven it down the track and I have more information, and what I did notice is there is zero boost showing on the dash. So I don't think we've blown off a boost pipe because they all Proflow clamps, so like there's no way they're going anywhere. So I think a boost line is off somewhere. So let's have a bit of a squiz. All right, so vacuum line. Back of manifold is there, that's fine. Yep, line is there. Line is on turbo, line is on wastegate. Line to the blow-off valve is there. Ah, here we go. Here we go. We have a winner. There we go. Line has popped off this T, boost T here. All right. Do we have any cable ties? Let's have a squeeze. But yeah, pop the line off a boost T. There you go. That'll do it. Oh, that makes me feel better. I thought we'd heard it. At least not yet. Cut them off so they can stab me later. Alrighty, so let's go make a run. 20 psi. Hopefully it behaves this time. Baby. that felt pretty strong. Shifted all the shift points perfectly. Coolant temp got a little bit high crossing the line, just crossed the line and just flashed up coolant temp warning. But it is coming back down now. But yeah. Woo! Felt good. Now we've got cows on the road. Get off the road. What are you doing? Yeah. What does the card say? Yeah. Yeah, I think that intake temp is just, it's not loving life at the moment. Might have to blow some air through the intercooler. I expected better. Okay, so our second full pass, 10.9, 132, so lower mile an hour, slower, and obviously with higher boost, but we've just spotted something. It's starting to breathe a little bit out of the breather. I don't know if you can see it, but there's definitely some fumes coming out of the breather, which it never really did before. So I think what we do is say, okay, we hit our goal. We ran 2 10-second passes on street tyres after driving up from Melbourne, but we are a long way from home, so let's drive it back to Melbourne. It should make it fine. Drive it back to Melbourne, we'll comp test it, see if there is anything wrong with it, and if there isn't, then we'll bring it out another day. But I think we've done 2 of our 3 goals so far, which is drive it up here, run 10s, and we ran 10s on pure street tyres, which was not the goal, but we did it. 10s twice, 10s before taxi. This is the 3rd car we've got that has gone 10s before taxi, which is a little bit troublesome for old taxi. We'll get the taxi there this year. I'm hoping we'll get it there. But anyway, we've gone 10s before taxi on street tyres in the Lexcen after driving it up. Now we're going to drive it home, complete the trifecta, and I think that's pretty impressive. This car is the ultimate sleeper. It does everything. It goes around corners. It is a 10-second genuine street car. So can't be unhappy with that. So anyway, we'll take it back to the workshop, we'll assess the situation, see what's wrong with it, and if there is something wrong with it, we'll fix it. And you're going to see it all on a future episode of Carnage.
Mission accomplished.